October, what is it, the 12th today? The 10th? I don't know. Anyway, it's Sunday in October. Flea Market Sunday. I did the Stormville Flea Market. About 20 minutes from here. This is the hall. Now, this flea market's been kind of hit and miss the last 10 years or so. Obviously, there's no firearms anymore. Although I did see something firearm related. I'll tell you about that in a minute. It's like they're selling like Brimfield. They're selling to people out of the city with a lot of money and not a whole lot of knowledge about antiques. Everything's overpriced. Not today. And I'll tell you why. I'm sorry, it's not Sunday. It's not Flea Market Sunday. It's Flea Market Saturday. I'm doing something else on Sunday, and it's going to be raining very, very hard on Sunday. So I was not going to the flea market. Went today instead. Usually a bad day to go, the first day of the flea market, because, then they really don't want to deal with you. Sunday, they want to go home, don't want to take it all with them. It's October. Maybe they want to get rid of it. They might deal with you. But today, with rain threatening, and in fact, it started sprinkling before we even got out of there. Very threatening sky. Every news station is hyping up this nor'easter that's supposed to hit us early next week and starting tomorrow with heavy downpours, wind. Not good flea market weather. So there were people up there who paid high lot fees that were looking at going home in the red, basically, financially. So 90% of the people I was dealing with there were willing to make a deal. And that's good. Just like at the Elephant's Trunk, where I usually go, over in New Milford, Connecticut. And what you see here is the cream of the crop. A lot of stuff I didn't bother with. Everything here is stuff I either collect myself or I'm going to flip it. Or I need it for parts. Okay, we'll start with the uranium glass. I collect uranium glass. The glass that glows. If it was darker, this would really fluoresce nicely under a UV light. You can see here, we have a Fire King little dish over here, and we have the 5 plates. Okay, now, first ones I found were the 5 plates, and it said $45 on it. And I'm like, you know what, that's it. Yeah, it's cool stuff, but I already have stuff like that. I don't need any more. And then the lady said, it's $10. I'm thinking, $10 each? You out of your mind? And she said, for the whole stack, that's the $10 table. Oh, now, at $10 for 5 plates, I can definitely flip those and make some money on them. So, yeah, I'm in. This is for me. That's going to make a nice little container for my pipe tobacco. This one actually, I have a similar jar like this, but I don't have one with the lid still on it. This one has the lid. It's really cool. That's going to be my uranium glass pipe tobacco, not a humidor, pipe tobacco storage there. And this is just a nice picture. Story on this one was, I asked the guy, there was a couple running in a little stall there, how much for this? And it had, I think, 35 on. What's the best you can do in this? And she pipes up, $25. And he's looking at me, goes, I said, I'm in at 20. Because I know what these go for on eBay, so I'm in at 20. And she pipes up, she heard me, she pipes up, $25. And he goes, just give me the 20. So I gave him the 20 and took off. He probably caught hell for it afterwards. But, hey, he did say it, so not my business after that. So that's the story of the uranium glass pieces. Okay. And the Fire King dish there, which will be holding change or needles. That's a nice needle dish is what I thought for my Victrola needles. Just put them in there. Why did I buy a cheap pair of binoculars from the late 60s or early 70s? Probably mean Hong Kong or something. Well, why I bought it. Okay. I have to put this down, and I need to pull that out of the case. Let me just extend the legs on my camera here. Excuse me. I fumble it around. I don't want to knock the camera on the ground. Come on out. Come on out. There we go. Okay. Who made this again? Oh, it's Tasco. This is a pair of Tasco, but they're probably probably later than the 70s. Anyway, nothing special about the binoculars. I'm sure they work. Who cares? This is genuine late 60s, early 70s. Nice braided camera strap. And I'm getting back into shooting with my 35 millimeter cameras. I was shopping around on eBay for a camera strap that would be period correct for a camera of the late 1960s, early 70s. And these are all like $35, $45. I got them down to $15 for the binoculars. How are you going to go wrong with that? That's a nice, thick, soft strap. Much easier on the neck than those big, heavy ones that the cameras come with most of the time. So that's going to be put to good use. There we go. Put that out of the way. Hiding behind that, we have a little Boy Scout type camp kit. I like to collect these camp gears. I like this one because this is heavy steel. I'm guessing this is 20s or 30s. There is a name on there, but I haven't deciphered it yet. I got to clean it up. There's a little pot in there. There's a little dish and your fry pan. And the handle there is the top strap. That's the handle for the fry pan. So that's a nice little set. That'll go into my collection. Of course, I'm a pocket watch collector. I don't often collect pocket watches because they're stupidly priced sometimes. But here we have, this one is probably German silver. I wanted this one. I bought it for parts. I need a loop, and I like that case that it's in. A little railroad train on the back, a locomotive, thick crystal. This could be a railroad movement. I don't know. It's not working. It's stuck. I need to get the back off. I'll work on that with some Croyle, a little bit of heat on the heat gun, rather, not torches. Thank you very much. And I will check that out. There's a very good possibility that could be actual railroad movement. Who knows well, who made it? Let me see. Oh, Waltham. A Waltham railroad movement. That could be 21 jewel. Really nice find if it is. But if it's not, that's okay. I want the case. I have a movement to put in there that is railroad grade. This is just a nice watch. It's 1872, National Watch Company. More commonly known as Elgin. It needs a crystal. But other than that, it is a working watch. And, you know, it's an older one. 1872, it's key wind. So that's interesting. Don't have too many of those. They weren't too expensive. Like I said, everybody today was willing to deal with me. This one is 5 ounces of coin silver. If you've noticed the price of silver lately, it's almost $50 an ounce. So yeah, this was $200. I couldn't get it in cheaper. This was $60 because that's German silver, otherwise known as nickel. Railroad watches, railroad cases had to be very, very durable. This was in and out of your vest pocket 150, 200 times a day. So it'd wear out if it was silver or gold. These are nickel, and they're made to stand up to heavy-duty use. That's what I like about them. These are going into my watch collection. Okay, moving along here before the rain starts again. It did rain briefly. We have, I don't know if this is Boy Scout. I suspect it is probably military issue, probably ours. Green handle. That's going in my Army truck, my M37. Nice little, I don't know what the hell it did to the top there, but I can fix that with a wooden wedge. But that's pretty nice. So let me put that aside so I don't crack the glass with it. Okay, let's move that over there. This. It's not a German Petromax. It's not one of those. It is of the style of those. Now, what it has is Japanese labeling on it. I did Google search on that, and it pops up to a Japanese corporation, post-World War II. Does appear to have mica in the shade, so that is definitely an older one. It is a quality build by the look of it. It does look very nice. You know, it's undamaged, it's clean. I at first thought it was one of the Chinese repops. I knew it wasn't German once I saw the badging. But when I saw this, I know it's Japanese characters. That's not Chinese. So I don't know the history of this. That's going to take some looking into. We have the shade is on there. It's a little bit different shade than I've seen on other lanterns. Military, possible. Yeah, could be post-World War II Japanese military. For all I know, it could be World War II Japanese military. I just don't know. Except when I did the Google search on the company name up there, they deciphered it as a post-World War II corporation that began manufacturing various things in 1954. So I don't know. That's going to take a little bit of research. I'm going to take the whole thing apart, clean it up. It even has a nice a nice mantle in there. Look at that. The mantle's not even burned. So they didn't use it. That's fine. A couple of Dietz lanterns. Yeah, I think one's a Little Giant, the other one's a Monarch. I think something like that. I didn't pick these up for me. These are actually for somebody else. So he'll be happy with these. Yeah, it's the Little Giant. It's got the 72-hour tank in it. Same exact lantern with smaller tanks are around. It has the milking shade. That is not, and it actually says Little Wizard on it. That is not a railroad lantern. Okay, just because red don't mean it's railroad. It's a milking lantern. That's so the horses and the cows don't kick you in the face for ruining their night vision, ruining your own night vision when you're out there milking at 5 in the morning or 4 or whenever it is that farmers do that sort of thing. Okay, let's put these aside here and get to this. This is an Argus camera. Obviously, it's a piece of junk. This one's all beat to heck. I don't care. I bought it cheap. I bought it for parts. I need that. I need that for my nice one. I have a very nice Argus camera, C3 like this. I need that piece right there. It's missing on my other camera, and it keeps wanting to fall out of its case. So that is going to be just for parts. Nothing special. I was looking for one just for that. Here is another. This is a boat signal lantern. I don't believe I've ever seen one this clean. It's kerosene powered. It takes a little, what do you call it? A little burner in there, which is actually there. Let me see if I can get that open so you can see what it does. Okay. You see, this is going to want to move on me, isn't it? Okay, you know what? We will try to do this. Look how clean the burner is in there. That's really nice. Got a reflector. You signal. You know, be on deck, you're signaling to shore or another boat. You signal like this, and the crystal in there, the lens rather, reflects it and makes it bright. This will be an easy fix. It doesn't need to be fixed at all. It just needs to be fueled up, probably a new wick. You know, if it goes. I've never, ever seen one this clean. That is... I have another one like it. That's nice, but not clean like this. This is a... And it says it right on a boat signal lamp. Come on. Well, I'll do that later. Before I make a mess of it. Let's not do that. All righty. We have, going with camera themes, these are empty film canisters, 1960s, early 70s. Could even be a little older than that. There's 10 of them. You wanted $1 a piece. On eBay, they're getting a lot more than that. These are nice for storing small parts. Everything from gramophone needles to nuts, bolts, and screws, you name it. Or you could even use them for film. If you're shooting with 35mm film and you don't like the plastic ones, put them in these. So that was $10 for the whole thing. You even got a little Bell & Howell box in it. So that was nice. I was very surprised when he told me $1 each, because usually I see them, they're a lot more. These are boxes, fiber needle cutter box for a Victrola that cuts your wooden needles. I'll show you what those are in a minute. There's no needle cutter in it. I actually have a needle cutter to fit in there. And that will complete that. I have a really nice minty needle cutter. The instructions for the needle cutter are in there. This and these two boxes for $15. Now, this is a really nice reproducer box. Those of you who know antique phonographs, Victrolas or what, know a reproducer is the part the needle goes on. The round piece at the end of the tone arm, the needle goes on where the magic happens. This one is for the exhibition reproducer, or sound box if you prefer. It does not have broken corners. On eBay, you're going to pay $45 plus $7 to $8 worth of shipping, depending on where you are, for each one of these boxes. I know, because I bought one on there years back. And this one is really nice. Now, this is what's in it. We have a motorboard screw for Victrola, common enough, not a big deal, I have plenty of them. But these are fiber needles. These play records, just like a steel needle. Those are the steel needles right there. These are fiber needles. There's probably about 20 or 30 of them in there. This is what this cutter used to cut. These needles right here. You could keep sharpening these and keep playing records of them until they were too small to fit in a reproducer. Just like that. And they are unobtainium since the beginning of World War II. Actually, before that. before that, because the supply the Victor Company had for these needles was in Japan, Imperial Japan. A special kind of bamboo they were using was a little bit harder than usual, and it was perfect for this application. These needles will never damage your records, ever. You will not. They basically would. They're not going to damage your records. The record is harder material than the needle. With steel needles, eventually you will wear a record out over time. But with fiber needles, you never really will. And for my most rare and expensive records, they all get played with fiber needles. You go on eBay looking for those, they want stupid money. Well, not today. Not that I needed more. I have a good supply of them, but that's okay. I can always use more. Never have enough fiber needles. Okay, what do we got here? It's just a Coase patent pipe wrench, monkey wrench, for a couple of dollars. I mean, how can you go wrong on that? Just a couple of dollars. So, you know, I wasn't planning to buy any of those. You can see, made by who? Made in USA, under Coase pipe. That C is for Coase patent. And what does it say? Let me see if I can read that close up. Coase Wrench Company, Worcester, Mass. Coase. Couple dollars, you know. So I added another one to my growing collection of pipe wrenches or monkey wrenches and stuff. I think I got one at the last sale too. Bunch of these pipe filters. I smoke a pipe. $5 a box. There's 10 boxes of pipe filters in here, each one of them with a total of 120 filters. You cannot buy them that cheaply. No. These are all unused in nice collectible, probably 1960s era boxes. We've got some Medicos here, the same thing for my pipes. So that was a nice find. I could have been a pig and bought all of them that were on the table. I didn't. I was nice and I left some for other people. Don't be a pig when you don't have to be. This will keep me for years of pipe smoking, probably a decade. So that's good. There were another 4 or 5 boxes there. I could have got them, but you know what? No, there's other people that are going to want them. All righty. Small camping style little teapot, coffee pot, whichever. It's clean. I bought this because it's small size, which I was looking for, and it's clean. That'll go nice with my little camp stoves. So, you know, I'm going to keep that just for the camp stoves, clean it up a little bit. This is just a box of adventure novels, young adult adventure novels from the 1920s and 30s, early 40s. And they are written at the level that today we would call adult. Okay, because people were smarter and better educated back then, especially in reading and stuff like that. They weren't given simple little kids' books back then. When you were 10, 11, 12, 13, you were basically reading it at what today would be considered an adult level. So I'll show you what's in there. Let me just get my butt out of the chair. Show you. We have F.W. Dixon, Rescued in the Clouds, Over the Ocean of Paris, Over the Rockies with Airmail, The Boy Allies. This is from the First World War. This is all really cool stuff. The whole box was $15. That'll keep me busy for quite a while. Okay, now. We have a mahogany box. And unfortunately, I cannot show you what is in the mahogany box because that would violate the decency standards that YouTube would use to basically remove my video. No, it's not pornographic. Take your mind out of the gutter. It is a set of poker chips. Very old set of poker chips. What caught my eye, seeing this on a table, was not the box. I thought it might be a humidor. It was this clasp. That clasp is identical to one that is on a portable phonograph that I have from the very early 1920s. And that clasp would have been in use back probably to the turn of the century. It's pretty unique to see. Press the button there, it pops up like that. It works perfectly. I can't open it. And the reason I can't, I don't want to force it. The reason I can't open it is there is a symbol in the middle of each poker chip that in the teens and the 20s was considered a good luck symbol. But Come along the later 1920s into the early 1930s, a political organization came to power in Germany that the world found objectionable. And today, the world finds very objectionable. And they don't want to see the symbolism of it, even if it's not connected to that particular political movement. Has no connection to that political movement at all. It just happened to be a Native American good luck symbol, was used, I think, in the Himalayas also, and China, I think, used it. Various other cultures used this particular symbol for good luck. And of course, being poker chips, it's a good luck symbol on them. And it's a full set. The set is mint. It comes along with a 3-page letter written about 30 or 40 years ago, detailing the family history from one family member to another who had owned this, of their relation who had this. He was a man's man in the 1920s. He was a gambler. He was, that sort of thing. And this had been his personal poker chip set. Now, I haven't really put a value on this yet. I did a quick and dirty on Google just to make sure the story the guy selling it was telling me had some validity about what it was. And he couldn't, he had the box closed and locked on the table. He wouldn't even display it open because people would get pissed off. I walked away from it. It was hard, but I walked away from it. And I did a quick and dirty. I took some pictures of it beforehand. I did a search on Google, and it turned up exactly what it is, with prices ranging everywhere from 4 and change all the way up to a couple thousand euros. Not sure how much a euro is compared to the US dollar, but it sounds like a lot. And it is pretty unique. Mahogany case, all of that stuff. I got to clean the case up a little bit, which I will. I'm used to doing that with the Victrolas. I will do it with this. It is a very, very unique item, to say the least, with an interesting history to it. That is not the kind of thing you see and hear about every day. And I wish I could show it to you, but I can't. So it has to remain closed. If you want to contact me through my email, I will send you pictures of it. But other than that, I can't, do that. Well, he started at $400, which is a legit price. That is a legit price for something like this. Actually, a couple $100 more than that would be a legit price. But he was not getting any customers for it. He couldn't show it to people. He can't put it online, which is the big one. You can't put this on eBay. All right? You have to be very careful how you put something like this on eBay. You have to cover up the symbols on it and, verbally describe what it is, kind of like I did here on the video. And it's hard to do that and attract attention to it. So I knew I had him. Plus, he was saying, this weather looks like it's getting worse. Oh, this sky is getting darker. Oh, I didn't know if I should do this show. Oh, but I'm here now. I got to sell some stuff. I said, well, I'm going to leave. I'm going to walk around, think about it. Well, when I came back, I hit him with $250. I said, I'm in at $250. That is my top dollar. I'm not going higher than that because I'm taking a risk here. I'm taking a risk because I can make money on this and find a buyer for it. And he hemmed and hawed, scratched his head, and looked pained like he had constipation. Finally, he said, all right, look, okay, I have to. I have no choice. So I bought it. And now I have it. With the interesting family members' history in there and all of that's written down. It's on an envelope in there. It's going to stay there. And I will definitely either keep this because, one, it's extremely cool, especially if you read the history that comes with it. It really is extremely. This guy lived a really interesting life. Riverboat gambling in Louisiana, in New Orleans, and in St. Louis and places like that, Chicago. And he was a professional gambler. Fights, gunfights. He was involved in bootlegging. Yeah. Bootlegging in Chicago in the 1920s. I think who was around at that time. And all of that. So it's really fascinating to have a piece of history like that. And that's what I do. I collect cool old shit. That's what I collect. Anybody asks me, I don't specify any one thing. It has to be cool. It has to be old. It has to be interesting. Or I need it for some utilitarian purpose. That checks every box. That checks every box there. And knowing that the symbolism on it has nothing to do with that particular political organization in Europe that was causing trouble in the late 1920s into the 1930s and 40s. That's even better. It's not connected to that, even if it does have that symbol on it. It's not the symbol's fault. A certain jackass decided to use it for his political organization. So, that was like the prize of the day. All right, I have over here. I have to fold this properly, so can't do it right now. This is a 48 star flag. USA made, have decent enough design. It's cloth. That's a wall. You put this up on the wall. You really can't fly that outdoors. It'll fade very quickly. Not that you're going to fly a 48 star flag outdoors. I don't have many 48 star flags. I like to collect them. That's cool. So there we go. 48 star flag. That was from before 1959 when Alaska and Hawaii joined us. And this ammo box, which I think is Dutch, but I could be wrong. It's almost like it's bigger than a Fat 50. This is bigger than a Fat 50. World War II styling, although I think it is post-war. Oh, there goes the box. Damn it. I saw that, and usually a regular ammo box is going to be $20, $15, $20 around in there, $25 even. And I don't really want to pay that. I have hundreds of regular ammo, 50 caliber ammo boxes. I don't need any more. But something like that I can put a lot of stuff in. That's cool to store things in. Really nice for that. So he wanted $15 for it. And I said, I would pay the $15 if I had to. But you know me, I got a bargain. It's a flea market. I haggle at flea markets. Anyway, would you take $8 for it? Oh, I can't do that. Oh, no, I can't. I just can't. How about 13? I said, tell you what, how about $10? I'll give you $10 right now for it. Boom. Okay. $10. Got it. Walked away. And did I cover everything? Those bottles did not come from the flea market. Those bottles back there came from 230 some odd feet down under the water over there in the distance in front of me. See that? Yeah. There's a big body of water. It's very, very deep. Those bottles were pulled up today by one of the divers, one of the technical divers who go into the water there and test equipment, swim around, do whatever it is they do, which is all insane shit, as far as I'm concerned, that deep. And they pulled it up and they brought me some. So it's interesting. I don't know what they are. They're condiment bottles, maybe a medicine bottle there, and something else, a beer can, a Rheingold Extra Dry. This, you can see how long that's been under the water. I'm going to have to get some grease or oil or something on that because that will rust very quickly now that it's exposed to the air. It's only been out of the water an hour or so. And it's been down there a long time. I don't know how old that can is. Could be 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. Don't know. But that's cool. Let's put that over there. It won't be damaged. Let's see. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, yes. It's not here. It's elsewhere. But I got a government surplus tilt-back heavy metal chair with the arms on it. You saw these in government offices all across the country. The military used them as well with the green vinyl cover. And I had one years ago that broke. And this is perfect. It's a really nice chair. I'm going to use that at my desk. That's my desk chair. I don't have it here. It was $40. $40. I've been looking for one of these for 2.5 years. Even thought about buying one off eBay where they want a lot more than $40 for them. Plus the shipping involved would be horrendous. But I've been looking at flea markets. Not flea markets. Yeah, well, flea markets do. Estate sales mostly. And I haven't found one. I just find those cheap-ass Chinese pieces of junk like the one I currently have. That's only a year old and it's already broke. Thank you, Amazon. Not making that mistake again. And let's see. Did I cover everything? Was that it? Is there anything else? What did I walk away from? Some uranium glass was a little overpriced. I walked away from that. Or it was stuff I had, so I didn't care. Walked away from it. A lot of tools. I have enough tools. I'm starting to sell tools off now. You know, I don't need as many tools anymore now that I'm a little older and kind of retired. Don't need them. So I'm starting to sell tools off. I just buy interesting stuff like that pipe wrench, that monkey wrench for a couple $. It is a pipe wrench, but it's called a monkey wrench. All kinds of craftsman tools lying around and stuff like that. I have so much of that stuff, I'll be 10, 15 years selling it, not buying any more. There was plenty of it there. Some of it was reasonably priced, some of it not It's okay. I walked away from that. A lot of camera gear. None of it was the Nikon stuff I'm looking for. So I shoot with a Nikon F from the 1960s. Those of you who don't know the Nikon F, 1959 to 1974, 35 millimeter camera. It wrote the book on 35 millimeter shooting in the 19s. This is the camera that went to the moon with Apollo, that was at places like Khe Sanh in Vietnam with combat photographers, and everywhere and anywhere there was a professional photographer in the 1960s and 70s. You're probably going to find a Nikon F there. Really popular camera. I sold my original ones that I had because they needed service back in the early 2000s when I went over to digital. I want to go back to 35 millimeter for certain things now, like taking pictures of my cars, my truck, stuff like that, or watches and whatever. So I bought another one on eBay for like $150, which is a really good price. That's what I sold my original one for. I got a working camera this time, although I'm sure it will need service at some point. But it's mint. It's absolutely mint from 1965. Not a scratch on it. It's going to stay that way too, you can bet you. So I'm going to be using that again. So I'm, just keeping an eye out for some filters and lenses, whatever, just stuff. I saw plenty of cheap throwaway 35 millimeters. I even saw an N80 Nikon from the 90s, a camera that was really expensive back then. And I know because I bought one, and I still own one. I still own it. I still use it from time to time, and it still works. They wanted $30 for it, which almost made me start crying. Really? $30? I paid what for this? Oh, well, that's it. That's the way the cookie crumbles, I should have waited 30 years to buy it, or 25 years, however long it's been, to buy it, and I would have got it for $30 instead of $1,000, so, or whatever I paid for it. Okay, I think that was pretty much it. Like I said, people were spooked by the weather with good reason. Tomorrow's weather's supposed to be pretty obnoxious, or at least not obnoxious. That's Monday and Tuesday. It's going to be raining a little bit halfway through the day. And it did start raining for about an hour and a half this afternoon, which they said it wasn't going to do, but it did. So that kind of gave people a little bit of a push to do the deal, to dicker, do what you're supposed to do at places like flea markets and haggle. I don't know how many times I was standing at a table in the middle of a haggle session and watched somebody else just pay what they were asking for something without even trying. And then, of course, they try to use Venmo or something like that to pay for it and find out you use cash at flea markets. Thank you. 99% of dealers at a flea market, at least around here, look for cash. They're not looking for your electronic payments and bullshit. It's not eBay. So, a couple different people I heard trying to use electronic payments and not bargaining at all. I mean, I'm doing this right next to you. You hear me dickering back and forth with the dealer, and the dealer knows how the game is played. We both do. We're having fun. That's part of the fun of it. No one's getting insulted. It's expected. They mark stuff up so they know you're going to haggle them down a little bit. They know that, and they love it when you just pay them what the sticker says, like you're in Walmart or something like that. Don't do that. Always try. Okay, don't be stupid. And if they want $100 for it, it's worth at least $80. Don't offer $10 or something like that. That's just insulting. Then they will get insulted. No, maybe offer $65, and then they come down a little bit. Okay, maybe 75. You meet in the middle somewhere, and then you're paying what it's actually worth. Instead of the inflated price or a lowball price, you're paying what it's actually worth. And I did this with this watch. Because he wanted $250 for that because of the silver content mostly. And that it's a good movement. That's I think it's a 17 jewel movement in there. It's a good one. Railroad grade, just about. And I wanted this watch. It needs a crystal. It needs a cleaning. I'll get that done. I have someone who does that. But there was another watch there, a little 1950s or 60s sterling silver cased Swiss watch, Swiss pocket watch. Plain case, no adornment on it. It was working. It looked like a decent enough movement, but he wanted $325 for it. And I'm not paying that. I'm not paying it. Yeah, it's got 3 ounces of sterling silver in it. It's $150 in silver at whatever the spot price was the other day, or I don't know what it is today. I haven't checked. But I didn't want that watch, but I made like I did because my plan was simple. I'm going to lowball him on that watch. I'm going to offer him $225. So we're going to go back and forth. He's not going to budge too far off that 225. I know he's not. He might come down to 300. I mean, 325 you wanted. He might come down to 300. He might come down to 310 or something like that. And in the end, I don't care. I don't really want that. I want this one. This one he wanted 240. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that Swiss watch aside. I'm going to look over like I just saw this. And, you know, I don't know. It needs a crystal. I have to find someone to do that. Never mind. I already have someone to do that. But I have to find someone to do that. 245. You know what? I'll go 190 on this. I'll go 190 on this. And now he's already invested in trying to sell the other watch. And we can't come to an agreement on that. I'd be really shocked if he'd have taken my offer at 225 that I was going to offer him. And we would come to an agreement for $200. And that's what we did. Exactly what we did. $200 is what I ended up walking away with that. That's good. That's fine. But when I got back to his table to start all that negotiating, there was a lady there buying that watch. And I just walked up as she was starting to take money out, and she's asking me questions. Obviously, she's never owned a vintage pocket watch before. It's not that old, 1950s or 60s. And he said, oh, no, I just sold it to her. Well, he was here earlier looking at it. And she says, oh, I'm so sorry. I really love it. I want to have it. I was, oh, by all means. No, don't worry about me. You go right ahead. I have no claim on that watch whatsoever. I think you should take it home, enjoy it. I'm happy to see you entering the hobby. All true, because I had no intention of buying that watch. I didn't want her to feel bad. And, and I told her, I said, I was going to lowball him on it anyway. He starts laughing, I'm laughing, and then I did make him the offer on that. We haggled a little on this, and I walked away with what I wanted anyway. So I didn't have to, put the whole song and dance on, so I missed out a little bit on that. But it's a nice dealer. I deal with him a lot. I bought stuff from him in the past, a lot of stuff. So we both know how the game is played. Let's see. Well, that's going to be it for a while. I have no other flea markets planned. The next one of these that I do would probably be another estate sale at some point. Don't know when exactly. No good ones are coming up that I'm aware of. By good, I mean an estate sale that has this kind of stuff. All right? Don't waste my time with furniture. I don't collect furniture. Don't waste my time with glassware unless it's something 1930s or 20s. Uranium glass, something cool like that. It's getting a little dark right here. I mean, uranium glass. Yeah, yes. This will start ticking on a Geiger counter. It will. Not enough to hurt you, unless you have a real lot of it all in one place, real close to you all the time. But, look how that glows like that. Whoop. That's cool. Stuff like that. Old cameras, those chips, lanterns, ammo boxes. When I see that kind of estate sale, I'm there. But I don't care about regular modern glassware, electronics, video games, bullshit like that. I could care less about that kind of stuff. I want the old stuff. I want the cool, the unusual, rusty old tools. Show me a barn or a garage filled with rusty old tools. I'll be in there for 5 hours, and walking out of there with boxes of stuff. Really cool stuff. Stuff you're not going to see everywhere all the time. The stuff I like to collect, like this vintage camping kit over there. And the last video, I had the Miro set, the nesting pots from the 1960s or 50s, whenever that was. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I don't want the modern junk or the throwaway crap from China. I don't want that, But it was a good day all around, and had a good time. And there you go. That's what I was doing today.